Scan the corporate landscape in the Philippines today, and you will find a massive wave of capital flowing into high-end sustainability campaigns. It's a world of glossy spreads featuring scholarship recipients and endless photos of executives planting uniform rows of identical saplings. Yet, behind closed doors, the mood is often much grimmer. Many of those same executives privately view these initiatives as an expensive distraction that drains resources away from their core business. This frustration stems from a widespread operational failure. Leadership teams have convinced themselves that environmental, social, and governance, ESG, is defined entirely by the production of a massive glossy magazine published once a year. Replacing a structural business framework with a public relations exercise creates an operational vacuum. Millions are spent managing public perception, while the mechanics of the supply chain remain exactly the same. Prioritizing these physical deliverables blinds leadership to reality. They focus so heavily on the optics that they miss the financial resilience and efficiency a true ESG framework provides. This diagram reveals a standard corporate reporting cycle, and it immediately highlights the timeline error. For 11 months of the year, the calendar is dormant. Then, suddenly, a massive spike of data collection and panic occurs in the final weeks before the publication deadline. Once that spike drops back to a flat line, the mathematical problem becomes obvious. A single isolated burst of administrative work is incapable of offsetting the environmental and social footprint generated by thousands of daily operations across the rest of the year. Real sustainability requires an elevated, continuous wave of activity. It demands that metrics be integrated directly into standard daily workflows, connecting environmental data to production decisions, logistics tracking, and human resources. Sustainability efforts localized to a single annual event function as expensive marketing. They lack the structural depth of a genuine business strategy, leading to systemic waste of capital. The failures in output inevitably lead back to failures in personnel. We have to look at who is actually tasked with executing these mandates on the ground. In many Philippine companies, the entire burden of corporate sustainability rests on a single junior coordinator. They often have zero budget, zero authority, and are drafting global policies on a borrowed laptop at a shared desk. This hierarchy tree illustrates the structural impossibility of that setup. Notice the signals bouncing off the management layers. An unauthorized employee at the bottom of the chart cannot successfully dictate new logistics protocols or governance standards to the seasoned executives above them. For systemic change to take root, the directional flow must reverse. Directives have to originate from the board and the CEO. When the mandate cascades downward from the top, it carries the authority required to penetrate every layer of the organization. Delegating ESG to the bottom of the org chart signals to the rest of the company that leadership views the concept as a low-tier administrative chore. These operational and personnel failures are direct symptoms of a foundational mindset issue originating right in the boardroom. Many executives equate ESG goals strictly with regulatory compliance. In the Philippines, the primary benchmark of success is often just passing the annual DENR inspection. Passing that inspection is the operational floor. It is the absolute minimum requirement to legally exist and avoid government penalties. Confusing the legal minimum with a strategic objective ensures a company will only ever react defensively to new regulations. It means permanently surrendering the opportunity to proactively innovate and lead the sector. The letters E, S, and G provide the fundamental blueprint for a company's daily operations. These three letters represent the mechanics of how a business functions in the real world. A top-down framework forces management to optimize granular daily decisions. It creates supply chains resilient to climate shocks, labor practices that retain top talent, and governance that eliminates structural waste. This chart tracking market position reveals the ultimate consequence of that shift. Operational ESG functions as a mechanism for competitive advantage, delivering a hard-edged market lead that standard philanthropic efforts cannot match. Early adopters in the Philippine market who prioritize internal operations are already moving. They are capturing market share from competitors who remain preoccupied with the public relations phase. Take a hard look at your boardroom. Your company will either pull ahead using a daily operational strategy or fall behind holding a glossy report.